Hello management aspirants, I am Ankur Chaudhary from hitbullseye.com and I welcome you all in this special strategy lecture on how to maximize your MAT GK scores. Now as you know that the MAT is conducted 4 times a year by the AIMA for admissions into over 600 colleges across the country. The paper of course is conducted in 2 modes, that is online and paper based, and the candidates themselves have a choice as to which mode they want to appear in. The MAT has 5 sections. First is mathematical skills or quantitative ability. Second section is on critical reasoning. Thirdly, we have the section on language comprehension or verbal ability. The fourth section is data interpretation. And the final section, that is the fifth section, is on India and global environment. This particular section has questions from the general knowledge section, and this is the focus of this particular video presentation here. When you talk about the fifth section, that is MAT GK, it has 40 questions like the other sections. For every correct answer, you will be awarded 1 mark, and for every incorrect response, you will be penalized 0.25 marks. Now you must know that the scores of MAT GK section are not considered while preparing the merit list or the percentile scores after the test. However, the section is important because some of the colleges do consider the scores of this section in their second rounds, that is GD and PI rounds, and also some of the colleges have sectional cutoffs for general knowledge section. You will do well not to take this particular section lightly. Now first, let us try and understand why is GK important, or rather why a strong performance in GK is important to do well in the MAT paper. First of all, due to the inherent nature, the questions on general knowledge provide you with a distinct opportunity to enhance your accuracy. Because if you know the answer to a particular GK question, then it is unlikely that you will get confused in the exam. Furthermore, since there is no analysis or calculations required on your part, the GK questions are highly time efficient and you need only a few seconds to respond to a particular question. So when you talk about papers like MAT which do not have a sectional time limit, this is an added bonus for you, because the time that you save in the GK section you can effectively utilize in other time consuming sections of the MAT. Further, coming on to the level of difficulty of GK questions in MAT, traditionally speaking, MAT has been known to have a relatively lower level of difficulty when you compare the GK questions of MAT with that of IFT or XAT. Further, as we discussed earlier, so you have equal weightage as far as GK section is concerned. Moving on to the analysis part of this video presentation. Now MAT is distinct in a way that it almost exclusively focuses on questions from current affairs. So in the latest edition of the exam, that is December 2015, 100% again. In December 2014, we had 100% questions, and again in May 2014, we had 90% questions from current affairs. So as far as MAT is concerned, a solid preparation in current affairs is likely to get you through. However, this particular pattern is not set and may change the next year also, the next time the exam is conducted. Hence, you will do well not to ignore static GK section completely. So moving on with the sectional analysis of the previous year MAT papers. So this is a table which shows you the distribution of questions from various areas or sub areas within general knowledge. So as a tradition, the MAT examiners focus on a few areas like economy, sports, science and technology, and business and corporate news. So when you're preparing for MAT, these are the sections that you should really be focusing upon. So now that we understand the kind of questions that you might expect in the math paper, let us now look at a few questions from the latest edition of the exam to judge your level of preparations. So the first question is, Antriksh, which has recently been slapped with a fine of Rs 4,435 crores by the International Tribunal in damages to Bangalore-based Devas Multimedia, is a commercial arm of. Right? So this is the question from national organization. It's a fairly easy question, and the answer is ISRO. Next also we see a easy level question. Which telecom company is accused of violating tax norms in India by the Income Tax Department? Now, this particular case has been in the news for considerable amount of time, and it is likely, if you're going through the newspaper regularly, you have come across, and the answer of course is Vodafone. Now, in order to give you a flavor of the difficult level questions that are being asked in the Math GK section, we'll discuss now two difficult level questions, relatively difficult level questions from the December 2015 Math exam. So, which Indian American environmental engineer was named as the 2015 MacArthur Fellow and given a Genius Grant of $625,000? This is a very specific question, and the answer of course is Karthik Chandran. Next up, we have a question from the field of sports. So the 28th FIBA Asia Basketball Championship was played in September-October 2015. The options are India, Iran, China and Japan. This is again a very specific question, and the answer to this one is China. Let us now take a evaluation of Math December 2015 GK section. Again, the exclusively Math focused on current affairs. 40 out of 40 questions were in fact from current affairs. Not more than 10 to 15 minutes were needed to solve this particular section. Furthermore, the questions were from everyday, day-to-day life related news, events, issues, etc. So regular newspaper reading as far as math is concerned is very essential, and this must be continued for the period of 12 months. However, if you have not been reading the newspaper regularly, you may also cover the current affairs portion from any reputed competition specific magazine like Pratyogita Darpan or Competition Success Review. Again, as far as the paper is concerned, it was a good mix of questions from both national and international affairs. So if you want to talk about the level of difficulty, a majority of the question or a large majority of the questions were easy and attemptable. 10 questions could be categorized as moderate and only 5 questions were on a difficult level. So any attempt between 30 to 35 as far as this paper was concerned was considered to be safe. So now that you understand the nature and the type of questions that you may expect in the next edition of MAT, that is in February 2016, now let us look at how to go about preparing for MAT GK section. So first aspect is how to prepare static GK. These are the broad areas from which you might expect questions as far as static GK is concerned. History, geography, economy, companies and brands, Indian polity and constitution, international and national organizations, science and technology with a focus on application of science and technology in everyday life, sports and miscellaneous. Now for a detailed discussion on static GK and its syllabus for MBA entrance examinations, I recommend that you watch our video on how to prepare static GK for MBA entrance examinations. Now we understand that MAT hardly focuses on static GK. However, static GK is still essential for you to understand the newspapers and the current issues that are in discussion. So if you do not know the basic concepts of economics or polity, it will be very difficult for you to understand the current issues that are in discussion. So the various sources that you might refer to while preparing static GK is india.gov.in. This is the official website of the Government of India. ibef.org. This is very good resource for Indian and world economy related news, and pib.nic.in. Also for static GK, you might refer to India 2015, also known as India Yearbook. This is published by the Publication Division of Government of India. Furthermore, a few reputed publishers also publish India Yearbooks, so you might also purchase any one of them. gk.hitbullseye.com is a dedicated portal for GK preparation as far as static GK and current GK is concerned. So you will find a large number of authentic and concise notes covering all aspects of general knowledge preparation on gk.hitbullseye.com. So moving on to how to prepare current GK, and we believe that this is critical for MAT. So these are the broad areas from which you may expect questions as far as current GK is concerned. World and Indian economy and business and corporate news, Indian polity, international and national organizations, and new developments and achievements in science and technology. Moving on, you may get questions on people and news, sports, and miscellaneous. Again, for a detailed discussion on the broad areas which will be covered in current GK, I suggest you watch our video on how to prepare current GK for MBA entrance examinations. So when you talk about the MAT GK section, it is imperative that you go through the past 3 to 4 years question papers to get a feel of the nature of questions that you can expect. Again, as we discussed earlier, MAT focuses more on questions from Indian and world economy and also from business and corporate news. As I said earlier, preparation of last 12 months of current affairs is essential to score well in the MAT, and it can be done through any competition specific magazine. Also, this is an important aspect of GK preparation. Now we associate practicing questions only with sections like quant and verbal ability and also critical reasoning. However, it is again very important for you to be practicing a number of GK questions to score well in the exam. In the next few slides, I'll be giving you a specific strategy on how to attempt the GK section in the MAT during the paper. So it is important that you attempt the section in 2 distinct cycles. So in cycle 1, the step 1 is identify the sitters and mark their answers. The sitters are obviously those category of questions which are very easy and you are definite about the answer of the questions. So you mark these questions. Step 2 of cycle 1, identify and mark the questions that you think that you can attempt. So these are the questions you feel that if you spend more time on them, if you utilize option elimination, etc., other methods, identify these questions and not really mark their answers, then cycle 2, you will mark the answers to the question identified in cycle 1, step 2, through intelligent guessing. So over here, if you're comfortably able to eliminate 2 options out of 4 or 3 options out of 5 and you're remaining with 2 probable options, so you can hazard a guess in this scenario. However, blind guesswork is not recommended in a paper with negative marking like the MAT. Now hitbullseye.com, as I mentioned earlier, has a dedicated portal called GK Junction or gk.hitbullseye.com, which provides you comprehensive and authentic and concise study material both for static GK and current GK preparations for MAT. Further, we have uploaded a large number of strategy and academic related video lectures similar to the one that you're watching right now. In order for you to test yourself multiple times before you eventually sit for the MAT, we are providing a large number of free tests which have been divided area wise, section wise and full length mock tests. So after you write these tests with us, we provide an in-depth analysis of your performance so that you are able to identify your areas of weakness and work more upon them, and then your areas of strength and consolidate them further. Now, to access this comprehensive study material, tests and analysis and more video lectures, I recommend that you open your free account with hitbullseye.com. To watch similar videos on academics and strategy related videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.